Hey guys, this is Clint Meister. You hadn't heard from me in about a year because I've been over the road truck driving. But I got me a local job, so I'm going to get back to doing videos again. Anyhow, here's a late project. This is a Cort Effector. See the name right there? So back in the 80s through Sears and retail outlets and stuff. This had, you can see, let me get it out of the shadow. See, these buttons had all these effects that you could hit. Well, let me get it right. You could hit these buttons and get effects on this guitar. Well, this has been sitting in one of my storage buildings for a long time, and what happened is the board behind here locked up. All these controls right here, they're called pots, they all locked up. So under here, I just opened it up and cut that out, and I resoldered everything back in. The pickups, as a dual pickup humbucker, it didn't have a system to switch the pickups. So I put in a 3-position switch. Took one of the pots out just to fill this hole up. It didn't turn, and have a volume, which will turn. None of these will work. It had 2 9-volt batteries pot that would fit in here. So I just took that whole thing out. And it's kind of a weird guitar, a little bit on the heavy side. Made of plywood. I just now found that out. It has this huge hole right here. It was made for a Kahler style of what's called a surface mount tremolo. I'll show that to you in just a minute. Anyhow, the neck is actually made of plastic, and it has a line lock system on it. You can see it up there, which is modified with this little piece underneath here to work on a fender style neck. It's okay. I've found out that you got to play with the tuning to get it right, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm trying to resurrect this guitar. Now, the thing about this style of tremolo is it was a great tremolo, but because it was a cheap knockoff and a Korean-made one, it had some real bad problems, and I got it sitting off over here. This is it on the, let me show, flip it over. This is it from the top side. It's got the brass look, but basically all it is pot metal, and it's been coated. Now, this is a very rare example of one that hadn't been broken. From the top side it looks great. All the lines match up and everything, but when you flip it over, you see this line right here. It's got a curve to it. Also, see that? That section right there where my thumb is? It's bent. So that means it is taking the spring tension off of it. So whenever I put strings in through the holes back here, it will lift this whole unit up, and it will just lift up like that because the spring tension would normally keep it down. And so it raises up, and it makes the strings really high off the neck. So basically this thing, if you look at it, there's a grub screw that's holding that little bar from bending anymore. And this heavy spring tension has really pulled back on it. And normally right up here where these screws are, these things will break. But you can see that this one hasn't been used much. Basically it's sat in my barn for many years. A couple ways to fix this is to put a piece of metal in right here and just eliminate springs altogether. There won't be a tremolo to it, and it would work as a solid one. Or try to find a good, not a Washburn, but a Kohler style of tremolo, and that's what I'm looking for now on eBay. That would bolt in this place. But I've asked around some good guitar players, and apparently there's no fixes for these, and apparently these things like to fall apart very easily. But that is one of the projects I'm working on. I've still got a bunch of other projects I'm working on, but it's a good looking guitar. That's called a Blue Sunburst. And I'm not going to pull these out, because if I did, all I would is I would just have holes there. So I'm going to take some Brasso and clean them up, and let's just leave it like it is. I mean, it's paid for. Might as well try to resurrect it. But not too many people have these still working in working order. So I'm just going to try to get it the way I can. And anyhow, that's my latest project. And so get this out to everybody, and I'll give you another one after I find me a tremolo and get it put back together. So anyhow, I'm back at it, guys, so we will see you soon. Take care. Bye.